Hi everyone. Is your company spending millions of dollars on AI, but seeing zero results? Are your best AI pilots and POCs dying in committee? If any of this sounds familiar, I want to tell you something that's really important. The problem is not your AI, it's your organization. For the last year, the entire conversation seems like it's been about technology, but we're pointing the camera in the wrong direction. The real crisis isn't AI. It's that our companies are trying to run this 21st century intelligence system on a 20th century organizational model. And that operating system, that model, is about to become a fossil. So in this video, I'm going to show you why your company's structure is rejecting AI, the critical difference between bolting on AI and rewiring your organization, in the 5-stage blueprint to make that change before it's too late. For over 100 years, our companies have been haunted by the ghost of a man named Frederick Taylor. In 1911, his Principles of Scientific Management created the blueprint for the modern corporation. There was a thinking class, that's management, and a doing class, those are the laborers. In post-World War II, companies evolved this model to give us functional silos. We had marketing, sales, IT, well, maybe not IT back then, but HR, you get it, all in their separate boxes. And it gave us linear processes. Strategy flows down, work moves sideways, and value trickles out the other end, losing speed and accuracy at every single handoff. This is the organizational operating system we inherited. And it was fine for the 20th century. But now we're trying to run AI, a tool of infinite speed and intelligence, on this rigid, slow system. And it doesn't work. It's why your teams are too busy to learn AI. They're busy with all of these handoffs and delays. It's why your AI projects can't get data from another silo. And it's why the technology isn't scaling. Your organizational operating system is rejecting the upgrade. So what do most companies do? They don't fix the operating system, they just bolt on the new tool. The perfect cautionary tale of this is Air Canada. They launched an AI chatbot for customer service. Classic bolt-on solution. A customer who needed a bereavement fare asked the chatbot for the policy. The bot confidently but wrongly told the customer that they could book a flight and get a refund later. When the customer then asked for that refund, it refused, saying the real policy was on their website. The customer, he sued. And this is the amazing part. Air Canada's legal defense was, and I am not making this up, that the chatbot was a separate legal entity and was responsible for its own actions. They tried to hide behind their old hierarchical silo wall of unaccountability. The court, of course, laughed and made them pay the refund. This is the bolt-on mindset. It's adding a new tool to a broken process, creating a new point of failure, and changing nothing about the organization. Now let's contrast that with a company that's rewiring, Levi Strauss, a 171-year-old company. You can't get much more legacy than that. But they're not just using AI. They're using it to fundamentally change how they operate. They're using AI to predict customer trends, which is helping them transform their 18-month design and production cycle. But here's the most important part. They invested in their people. They launched an internal machine learning bootcamp to upskill their organization. That's a company that's not just bolting on a tool. They're rewiring their processes and building new capabilities using their people. In fact, they're building a new operating system that's centered on data, speed, and customer value. This rewiring is what I call the journey to becoming hyperadaptive. A hyperadaptive organization is one that's architected to learn fast, pivot quickly, and make smarter choices by combining human insight with machine intelligence. But you don't get there overnight. In my book, Hyperadaptive, Rewiring the Enterprise to Become AI Native, I lay out the practical blueprint for this transformation. It's built on 2 core concepts. First, the 5-stage AI integration journey. This is the path. It starts with stage 1, foundation setting. This is where you get your data in order and build AI literacy. Then you move to stage 2, process optimization, and you keep going all the way through stage 5, becoming a fully hyperadaptive organization with orchestrated value streams. The second element of becoming a hyperadaptive organization are the 5 core capabilities. This is the work. This journey isn't about buying tools, it's about building new organizational muscles around AI-powered sensing, integrated learning loops, augmented decision-making, value orientation, and continuous adaptation. The hyperadaptive model is the result of my 30-year journey, which started on a factory floor in Tokyo, studying the Toyota production system. That's where I saw firsthand that an organization's operating system is its destiny. AI is what I consider to be the great forcing function. It's giving us an 18-month window to do what we should have been doing for the last decade, rewiring our organizations to become faster, smarter, and more human. So here's my question to you. Is your organization bolting on, or is it rewiring? And if you're not sure, or if you're worried you're stuck in a 20th century operating system, you might want to follow me on LinkedIn or consider pre-ordering the book, Hyperadaptive, available on online retailers like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Thanks.